It's just 5 minutes, I promise. You have to see this.
5 minutes.
Yes.
Okay.
That's all I need.
Fine.
Right now, in this exact frame at precisely 11:42 p.m. on November 22nd, 2024, Chloe Vance has 10 seconds of freedom left. 10 seconds. Watch her left hand. Do you see it? She's gripping her purse strap, that black crossbody bag she bought 3 months ago, gripping it tight, her knuckles slightly whitened under the harsh exterior lights. She's ready to leave, ready to turn around, walk down those concrete stairs, get in her gray Honda Civic parked in visitor spot B7, and drive the 12 minutes back to her apartment. She's tired. It's been a long shift. Her phone is dead. She just wants to go home. But Andre Sterling, standing in his doorway, apartment 306, wearing dark jeans and a navy pullover, is about to say 9 words that will change everything. 9 words that will end her life. Just 5 minutes, Chloe. I swear. You gotta see this, then you're free to go. Watch what happens next. Watch her face. Watch her body language. She hesitates. 2.3 seconds. I've timed it, frame by frame. 2.3 seconds where her body language screams no, where every instinct she has, those same instincts that have kept her safe for 22 years, tells her to leave. Her left foot actually shifts backward. Her shoulders angle toward the stairwell. Her mouth opens slightly, forming what should have been a polite decline. But then she doesn't leave. She stays. She nods. She follows him inside apartment 306, and if you analyze the security footage frame by frame, and believe me, I have analyzed every single frame hundreds of times, if you slow it down to exactly frame 62, you'll see something the police completely missed for 3 days. 3 entire days. You'll see the exact moment Andre's mask falls. The exact moment his expression changes from charming, friendly neighbor to something cold, something calculated, something predatory. That single frame, frame 62, will become the most analyzed piece of evidence in a murder trial that will captivate the entire nation. But to understand what you're seeing in frame 62, you need to know who these two people really are. You need to understand what Andre Sterling had been planning. And you need to know what happens 72 hours after this video ends when a hunter named Robert Caldwell, walking his property in rural Georgia, 216 miles south of Charlotte, opens a black Samsonite suitcase and discovers Chloe's body folded inside. Let me tell you about Chloe, 22 years old, born May 14th, 2002 in Wilmington, North Carolina, graduate student at UNC Charlotte, first year of her master's program in social work, 3.8 GPA. She wanted to be a therapist. Specifically, she wanted to work with trauma survivors, people who'd been through the worst moments of their lives and needed someone to help them find their way back. She had this quote taped to her bathroom mirror, written on a yellow Post-it note. Be the person you needed when you were younger. Her roommate from undergrad told investigators about that note, said Chloe read it every morning while brushing her teeth. 3 nights a week, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Chloe worked the evening shift at the Crisis Connection helpline, 7 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. She'd sit in a small cubicle with noise-canceling headphones, taking calls from people in their darkest moments, people considering suicide, people in abusive relationships, people who just lost someone, people who had nowhere else to turn, no one else who would listen. Her supervisor, Janet Martinez, who'd been running that helpline for 16 years, said Chloe was naturally gifted at it, that she had this way of making people feel heard, feel seen, feel safe. She never rushed anyone, Janet told police. She'd stay on calls past her shift end if someone needed her. Sometimes 30 minutes passed, sometimes an hour. She'd clock out and keep talking because she knew that voice on the other end needed her more than she needed sleep. Chloe lived alone in a 1-bedroom apartment in University City, about 4 miles from campus. Rent was $975 a month. She had a scholarship that covered tuition, but she paid her own living expenses. Her apartment was small, but she'd made it warm. String lights above her bed, plants on the windowsill, photographs of her family and friends covering one entire wall. Every Sunday at 2 p.m. without fail, she'd video call her parents, Sarah and Michael Vance. They still lived in Wilmington, in the same house where Chloe grew up. They'd talk for an hour, sometimes longer. She'd tell them about her week, about her classes, about the difficult calls she'd handled, though she never shared details, never broke confidentiality. Sarah said Chloe had this ritual. After her Thursday night shift, which ended at 11:30 p.m., she'd drive 15 minutes across Charlotte to Riverside View Apartments, where her best friend Maya Rodriguez lived. Apartment 304, third floor, end unit. Maya and Chloe had met freshman year of college, roommates first, then inseparable friends. Maya graduated a year ahead of Chloe, got a job in marketing, moved to Riverside View in July 2024. Every Thursday, after Chloe's shift, they'd hang out for about an hour. Sometimes they'd watch a show. Sometimes they'd just talk, decompress from the emotional heaviness of the week. Then Chloe would drive home, usually getting back to her apartment around 1 a.m., routine, predictable, safe. Until November 22nd, 2024. November 22nd, 2024, Thursday. Chloe's shift at Crisis Connection runs 7 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. She takes 11 calls that night. The last one ends at 11:22 p.m., an 18-year-old college student struggling with anxiety. Chloe stays with her until 11:28 p.m., makes sure she's okay, makes sure she has a safety plan. She logs out at 11:29 p.m. Her phone is at 18% battery. She forgot her charger that morning. She grabs her purse, her gray hoodie, waves goodbye to Janet, and walks to her car. Gray 2019 Honda Civic. License plate NCL 4782. She drives 15 minutes through light traffic, takes her usual route, Independence Boulevard to Sharon Amity Road, then into the complex. She arrives at Riverside View Apartments at 11:39 p.m. Parks in visitor spot B7. The same spot she always uses right near the stairwell. The complex is quiet. Most lights in the apartments are off. It's a weeknight, nearly midnight. Chloe grabs her purse, locks her car, walks across the parking lot to the exterior stairs. The stairwell is open air, exposed to the November night. Temperature is 48 degrees. She can see her breath in the air. She climbs to the third floor. Her white sneakers make soft sounds on the concrete steps. She reaches the third floor landing at 11:41 p.m. and walks to apartment 304. Knocks 3 times. Waits. Nothing. She knocks again. 4 times. A little louder. Still nothing. Maya isn't there. What Chloe doesn't know, what she can't know because her phone is dead, is that Maya left 20 minutes earlier. Her grandmother in Miami had a medical emergency, a fall, possible stroke. Maya's mother called, frantic. Maya grabbed her keys and drove straight to the airport, trying to catch a late flight. She texted Chloe at 11:18 p.m. Emergency! Grandma in hospital, flying to Miami tonight. So sorry. Talk tomorrow. Love you. But Chloe never saw the message. Her phone died at 11:33 p.m. while she was still driving. So now Chloe is standing on that outdoor landing alone at 11:42 p.m. waiting for someone who isn't coming. She's debating what to do. Should she wait a few more minutes? Should she just go home? She's tired. Her feet hurt. She just wants to. And that's when she hears it. The sound of a door opening behind her. Apartment 306. She turns around, and there he is. Andre Sterling. Before we watch what happens next, before we break down that footage frame by frame, you need to understand who Andre Sterling is. 22 years old, born September 3rd, 2002 in Raleigh, North Carolina. Only child. His father left when he was 4. His mother, Patricia Sterling, raised him alone. She worked double shifts as a nurse. By all accounts, she did her best. Andre was quiet growing up, didn't have many friends, spent a lot of time online, graduated high school in 2020, virtual graduation because of COVID, never went to college, took some online courses in computer programming, worked a series of odd jobs. On the surface, completely normal, unremarkable. But if you dig deeper, if you look at the pattern, you see something else. In 2022, Andre worked at Fit Life Gym in Raleigh. front desk position, checking memberships, selling protein shakes. He was hired in March, fired in July, 4 months. The official reason on his termination paperwork: violation of company conduct policy. But here's what really happened. 3 different women, members of the gym, filed complaints about Andre over those 4 months. Separate incidents, separate women, but the same pattern. Woman number 1. Andre approached her in the parking lot after her workout, asked if she lived nearby, if she lived alone, what her schedule was like. She felt uncomfortable, reported it to management. Management gave Andre a warning. Woman number 2. Andre started conversations with her multiple times, asking personal questions about her relationship status, her job, where she lived. When she stopped responding, he found her on social media, sent her a message. She blocked him, reported him. Management gave him a second warning. Woman number 3. Andre followed her to her car after her evening workout. She noticed him walking behind her, matching her pace. When she got to her car, he approached, asked if she needed help with anything. She said no. He lingered. She got in her car, locked the doors, and waited for him to leave. He stood there for nearly a minute before walking away. She reported it the next day. Management fired him, but it wasn't reported to police. No criminal charges, just a termination. A note in an HR file that nobody outside that gym would ever see. In 2023, Andre applied for a security position at Duke University Hospital. Night shift, monitoring cameras, patrolling floors. The pay was decent. He passed the background check. No criminal record, no arrests, nothing. But he failed the psychological evaluation. The psychologist who conducted the assessment, Dr. Ellen Marsh, who'd been evaluating security candidates for 8 years, noted in her report, candidate displays concerning lack of empathy. Responses to scenario-based questions suggest potential boundary issues. Recommendation: do not hire. Andre never got the job. He moved to Charlotte in August 2024. Applied for an apartment at Riverside View. Filled out the standard application, provided proof of income. He works remotely, some kind of tech support role. Passed the credit check, passed the background check. No problem. Because landlords don't have access to psychological evaluations, they don't have access to firing records from private gyms, they see no criminal record, steady income, clean credit, approved. Andre moved into apartment 306 on August 12th, 2024, 3rd floor, end unit, right next to apartment 304, right next to Maya Rodriguez, right next to where Chloe Vance visits every Thursday night. And for the past 4 months, Andre has been watching. Now let me show you what the security camera captured. The camera is mounted on the exterior wall, about 12 feet up, angled down toward the 3rd floor landing, fixed position, decent resolution, 1080p, records 24/7, stores footage for 30 days before overwriting. The timestamp burns in the bottom right corner of every frame, November 22nd, 2024. The night air is cool, 48 degrees. The exterior lights cast harsh, angular shadows across the concrete walkway. There's a slight breeze. You can see it moving the leaves of a potted plant outside apartment 302. 11:42:17 p.m. Chloe enters frame from the left, walking toward apartment 304. She's wearing black leggings, white sneakers, gray hoodie, black crossbody purse. Her hair is pulled back in a ponytail. She looks tired. 11:42:21 p.m. Chloe knocks on door 304. Waits, knocks again. 11:42:35 p.m. She pulls out her phone, looks at the screen, presses the power button. Nothing. She sighs, puts it back in her purse. 11:42:40 p.m. Door 306 opens. Andre Sterling steps out onto the landing. And here, right here, is where you need to pay attention to every detail. Frames 1-15. Andre steps fully onto the landing, closes his door behind him, but doesn't lock it. He's wearing dark jeans, a navy blue pullover, white socks, no shoes. His hair is neat. His expression is friendly, open. He smiles at Chloe. Frames 16-30. Andre says something. We don't have audio, but investigators brought in a forensic lip reader, someone who works with the FBI on cases like this. According to the analysis, Andre says, "Hey, Maya's not home?" Chloe turns toward him, slightly startled but recognizing him. She's seen him before. Maya's mentioned the neighbor, said he seems nice, quiet. Chloe responds, shakes her head. The lip reader's interpretation. I guess not. I thought she'd be here. Frames 31 to 45. Andre steps closer, not too close, maintaining about 3 feet of distance, non-threatening. His body language is open, his hands visible, his posture relaxed. He says something longer. The lip reader's interpretation. She left earlier. I think I heard her leaving around 11. You want to wait inside? I just got this crazy new VR setup. Takes like 5 minutes to show you. Then you can wait for her inside where it's warm. This is the trap. The bait. Frames 46 to 58. And Chloe, smart, cautious Chloe who takes calls from people in danger, who knows the warning signs, who teaches others how to stay safe. Chloe hesitates. Her body shifts. Her weight transfers to her left foot. Her left shoulder drops slightly, angling back toward the stairs. Her grip on her purse strap tightens. Her mouth opens, forming what should be a polite "no, thank you." But Andre keeps talking. He gestures toward his apartment. Animated. Enthusiastic. He's selling it. He mentions that Maya has seen it. That it's really cool. That it'll only take 5 minutes. The mention of Maya's name, that's the hook. That's what makes Chloe reconsider. If Maya's been inside his apartment before, if Maya knows him, then it's probably safe, right? Frame 59. Andre's right hand moves, quick, casual. It drops down and makes contact with Chloe's body, just below her belt line, on her right hip. A touch, less than half a second, could be interpreted as friendly, guiding, harmless. But watch Chloe's face. Her smile freezes. It doesn't fade, it freezes. Her eyes widen slightly, her jaw tightens. Her body goes rigid for a fraction of a second. She knows something's wrong. But she doesn't react. She doesn't pull away, because women are taught not to overreact, not to be rude, not to make a scene. Frame 60. Andre's left hand comes up to Chloe's shoulder. He's steering her now, gently but deliberately, toward his open door. Frame 61. He applies pressure. You can see Chloe's body shift sideways, her feet moving toward the doorway. She's not walking on her own anymore. She's being moved. Frame 62. This is it. This is the frame that will be projected onto a massive screen in a courtroom 7 months later. This is the frame that will be analyzed by body language experts, by psychologists, by prosecutors, and defense attorneys. Andre's face changes completely. For exactly 1.2 seconds, 36 frames at 30 frames per second, the mask falls. The smile drops. His jaw sets. His eyes narrow. His entire expression transforms from friendly neighbor to something else. Something cold. Something predatory. Something that has been hiding underneath the surface for months, maybe years. This is who Andre Sterling really is. And then, just as quickly, the mask comes back. But for those 1.2 seconds, the camera captured the truth. Frame 63. They disappear inside apartment 306. The door closes behind them with a soft click. 11:42:47 p.m. The landing is empty again, silent. The potted plant outside 302 sways slightly in the breeze. Chloe Vance has just walked into a trap, and she will never walk out. November 25th, 2024. 7:36 a.m., Oglethorpe County, Georgia, 216 miles south of Charlotte. Rural area, thick woods, scattered properties. Robert Caldwell, 58 years old, retired electrician, owns 40 acres of land that borders a creek. He's lived there for 12 years. Every morning, he walks his property with his dog, Scout, a 7-year-old German shepherd. It's cold that morning. 41 degrees, overcast. Looks like rain coming. Robert and Scout are walking a trail near the creek bed, about half a mile from his house. Scout suddenly stops, ears up, and bolts ahead into thick brush off the trail. Scout! Here, boy! But Scout doesn't come back. He's barking, insistent. Not his usual bark. This is different. Distressed. Robert pushes through the brush, thorny branches catching on his jacket. He finds Scout pawing at something black, partially hidden under fallen branches and leaves. It's a suitcase, hard shell, black Samsonite, large size. Robert's first thought, someone dumped trash. Happens sometimes. People drive out to rural areas, throw away things they don't want to deal with properly. But then he notices two things. First, the weight. When he tries to drag it out from under the branches, it's heavy. Really heavy, maybe 100 pounds. Second, the smell, faint but unmistakable, sweet, rotten, chemical. Robert has been hunting for 30 years. He's field dressed dozens of deer. He knows what death smells like. His hands are shaking when he pulls out his phone and dials 911. 911, what's your emergency? I'm on my property off County Road 47, and I found there's a suitcase out here, and I think there might be a body inside. Sheriff's deputies arrive 18 minutes later. 2 cars, 4 officers. Deputy Carson Hughes approaches first. He photographs the suitcase in situ. That's police procedure. Document everything before you touch it. Then he pulls on latex gloves and drags the suitcase out into a clearing. The smell is stronger now, unmistakable. He radios for backup, for the medical examiner, for a forensic team. Then he reaches for the zipper. It resists, stiff from moisture, from being outside for days. He has to use both hands, pulling hard. When it finally gives, when the two halves of the suitcase separate, the smell hits them like a physical force. 2 deputies turn away, gagging. Inside, folded in on herself, compressed into an impossible position, is a human body, female, young, early 20s. Her wrists are bound with metal handcuffs, standard issue, the kind you can buy online. Her ankles are bound with black zip ties, the heavy-duty kind, 3 of them, layered, pulled tight. Her mouth is covered with duct tape, 3 layers, wrapped completely around her head. She's wearing black leggings, a gray hoodie, white sneakers. There's a black crossbody purse tangled under her legs. Her eyes are open. Deputy Hughes, who has been a law enforcement officer for 14 years, who has seen car crashes and overdoses and domestic violence and every kind of human tragedy, Deputy Hughes has to step away for a moment, has to breathe. The medical examiner, Dr. Patricia Okoye, arrives at 9:15 a.m. She's been doing this job for 22 years. She's performed over 3,000 autopsies. She doesn't flinch. She kneels beside the suitcase, examines the body without touching it, takes preliminary notes. Female victim, approximately 20 to 25 years old. Petite build, approximately 5'4", 120 pounds. Visible lividity consistent with body position. Rigor mortis has passed. Based on decomposition and ambient temperature, preliminary time of death, 60 to 72 hours ago. Cause of death appears to be asphyxiation. But then she notices something else. She leans closer, examining the interior of the suitcase. Deputy, bring more light over here. Deputy Hughes shines his flashlight into the suitcase. And that's when they see it. Scratch marks, deep gouges in the fabric lining, tears in the material, fingerprints on the inside of the hard shell, visible in the condensation, in the moisture, pressed into the surface with desperate force. Which means one thing, she was alive when she was placed inside. She was conscious. She tried to get out. She scratched at the walls. She pushed against the lid. She fought for air, for light, for life. And she died in that darkness, folded into that small space, unable to move, unable to breathe, unable to scream. Dr. Okoye closes her eyes for just a moment. Then she opens them and continues her work. We need full forensic processing, fingerprints, DNA, trace evidence, every inch of this suitcase. And we need to identify her. Someone is missing this girl. The black crossbody purse inside the suitcase contains Chloe's wallet, her driver's license, her student ID, her debit card. They identify her within an hour. Chloe Marie Vance, 22 years old, Charlotte, North Carolina. At 11:43 a.m. on November 25th, 2024, 2 Charlotte Mecklenburg police detectives knock on Sarah and Michael Vance's door in Wilmington. Mr. and Mrs. Vance, we need to talk to you about your daughter. By $2 p.m., Every law enforcement agency in North Carolina has Chloe's photo, her case file, her last known location. By 3:30 p.m., investigators are at Riverside View Apartments pulling security footage. And that's when they find it. Frame 62, the moment the mask fell, the moment that will change everything.